everyone, and welcome back to day 2, okay, of 14 days with you. In my last video, we kind of like set the stage. It was long, so I'm gonna try to make day 2 a little shorter for you guys. Day 1, we set the stage. We met the main character, Angel, who I'm playing as. We met some other side characters, some of our friends. We learned that I'm a librarian. I moved back to Cortland Bay, and I made a new friend named Ren. And I made some questionable choices there. So if you want to check that out, please go watch day 1 first and then come back to this video and watch day 2. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into where we last saved. So if you've already watched day 1, you would know that I kind of sort of invited Ren back to my place after meeting him for the first time in the library, but it was for the plot, y'all. It was for the plot, so bear with me. Let's see what happens now. It says, waking up to the sounds of birds chirping outside and the sunlight filtering through the blinds, I groggily rubbed my eyes before absent-mindedly staring at the ceiling for a few moments. I also want to make it clear, I think this creator loves the term absent-mindedly because I swear I said that at least like 10 times in the last video. I'm telling y'all I did. All right. A lot had occurred last night, and I still needed to process most of it. But the main thing that plagued my mind was the stranger I let into my apartment last night. Was he still here? Let's go find out. Slipping out of bed, I smooth out the wrinkles in my pajamas and make myself look presentable before heading out into the hallway. I don't have to make it that far before I catch the familiar glimpse of pink in my vision. I walk out to see Ren already awake and neatly stacking his pillows and blanket away. Okay. Morning, Angel. Sleep well? I don't think anyone came by last night, but your neighbor, she's kind of loud, isn't she? Ren must have heard her gaming away on her computer at 2 a.m. like usual. Is that Violet? That can't be Violet. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, that can't be Violet. What in the world? Because Violet is my neighbor with the plants, by the way. So, unless it's another neighbor. As if to apologize on her behalf, I offer Ren a sympathetic smile before coming to help him move the pillows back into their rightful spot. Yeah, sorry about that. I usually don't mind since I'm also awake at that time, but I forgot that you'd be able to hear Violet from here as well. Oh! So Violet is a plant lover and a gamer. Okay, I'm not mad at that. All right. Oh, it's no trouble. It was odd to hear at first. She doesn't really give off that vibe, you know? Agreed. Yeah, I get what you're saying. She really isn't the type to... Oh, somebody's hungry. Apparently, Ren's stomach wanted to join in the conversation. Sheepishly, he covers his mouth with his sleeve or with the sleeve of his sweater and turns away. But now that I was up close, I could make out the faint dark circles under his eyes and immediately started to feel bad. Oh, he didn't get any sleep. Okay, not that I should care, this random man is in my apartment, okay? So he was hungry and he didn't get much sleep last night. I must have been a terrible host. I had to make up for this somehow. Sorry, I didn't know why I made that noise. I'm not hungry or anything. Sir, I heard it, you heard it, we heard it. It's okay. Here, why don't I make us something to eat? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want to be a bother anyway. Actually, why don't we go out for breakfast instead? I think that cafe by the pier is open to the public now. We should check it out. Okay. So he's with it. Okay. All right. A new cafe? Was he talking about the Driftwood Cafe? I wasn't even aware that it was open to the public yet. Still, taking him out for breakfast was the least I could do to show my gratitude. After all, Ren did make sure that no creeps broke into my apartment again because he is the creep. And he did it all without expecting anything in return. Yeah, sure. Let me get dressed, then I'll just be 2 seconds. I'm getting like a crap ton of notifications. Leaving Ren unattended, yet again, I quickly ducked back into my bedroom to change out of my pajamas. I think that's it. Pajamas. Anyway, in the end, Ren and I decided to walk to the cafe together, considering how the weather was perfect and it wasn't that far from my apartment. Turning to my side, I notice how the pink-haired man tries to not so subtly sneak side glances towards me. The arm at his side practically itches to reach out, and if I knew any better, I would have assumed he wanted to hold my hand. I mean, at this point, we might as well. He already came to my apartment, so he might as well hold my hand. Like, come on. But instead, he simply tucks his hands into his pockets and shoots me yet another soft smile. The weather's really nice today, huh? Back to small talk, it seems. Sure is. If I had known it'd be this nice and sunny, I would have suggested spending the day at the beach instead. Oh, yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah, we could go for a swim or maybe even check out the rock pools. It's been a while since I've been there. Oh, that does sound fun. Oh! All right, so I realized but I learned in day one that Leon is like a childhood friend of mine, and he was kind of funny towards Ren in day one. Angel. At the sound of my name being called, I turn on my heels, only to find Leon running up to me with a sports bag full of what I assumed to be his volleyball gear. Hey yo, Sunfish. It's good to see you out and about this early. And he always has like nicknames for me too. I was just on my way to the beach to meet up with Jay and Tio. Did you want to tag along? And hey, it's Ron, right? He dead ass wrong. He wrong because why you keep calling that man Ron when I introduced him as Ren? He know what he doing. Nice to see you again, buddy. Oh, it's Ren, actually. Sunfish? He's so angry. Huh? Oh, yeah. Sunfish is the cheesy nickname Leon gave me when we were kids. I don't really get it either, to be honest. So, Sunfish and Ren, was it? Sorry about that, bud. I'm not too good with names. Faces too sometimes. But hey, it's good to see you both again. Doing anything exciting today? If not, you can tag along with me and Angelfish and I were about to go on a date, actually. I smell a little bit of competition. Okay. Angelfish. A date. I don't miss the way Ren suddenly pulls my arm closer to his side, nor the way he clings onto me as though I'd suddenly disappear. You're going on dates again, Darl? Good for you. I'm glad to see that you're coming out your shell again. Take good care of her for me, won't you, bud? What do you think I've been doing ever since she moved away? Huh? Oh, hold on. What? He moved away when we were in like elementary school. That's what... Y'all, I'm not even playing with this. Oh my. Like me, Leon barely seems to notice Ren's mumbling as he rests an arm over my shoulder and starts tugging me in the direction of the beach. Ren, on the other hand, still latches onto my arm but doesn't seem to move. I can't believe my little Sunfish is out there in the dating scene again. I feel like a proud father. Oh, please, we're basically the same age. I feel like a proud adoptive father. Leon pretends to wipe away a tear from his eye as he leans further into my shoulder, and it was only then that I noticed Ren wasn't following us. Turning around, I reach out to grab his hand instead to tug him along. He immediately seems to perk up at the action and entwines his fingers with mine before falling into step. When I tell y'all, Ren be so jealous. Every time my friends pop up, he be like this. That's the face he make. I be like, oh my. It be all squinched up. Ooh. Alright, as fun as it was to catch up with my proud adoptive father, who's the same age as me, which makes things kind of weird, Ren and I do need to get going. Oh, yeah, of course. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time. He unhooks his arm from around my shoulder and inclines his head towards the beach one more time. But my offer still stands. If you want to catch up some more, I'll be down at the beach with... So we going to the beach. Yeah, we going to the beach. Oi, Tio. I don't want your friends, I wanted you. That's who I need right there. Like what? Oh, it's about to get good. Okay. Speak of the devil. Almost like he appeared from thin air. Theodore. Or rather, Tio. Because that's not Theodore. So Theodore emerges from somewhere behind Leon and makes his way towards the three of us. Though, unlike most of my friends here in Cortland Bay, I actually met Tio in the city a few years ago, back when I used to live there. In fact, it was through our mutual friend, Jay. Okay, so, alright, I'm getting the picture here. Apparently, they've both known each other since the beginning of middle school, but even after graduating and moving on to university, the pair were still practically inseparable. According to Jay, Tio would always show up at campus to pay him a visit, though, if I were being honest, I'm sure Tio only did it to antagonize some of the students and staff there. Is it because he got tattoos he tall? Looks a little alt with tats? No, Ren is still the one breaking into my apartment. It's not him. But he could break into my apartment. He could break into my fictional apartment. It definitely wasn't out of the ordinary for him to do something like that. Plus, it offered me a lot more insight into the whole assertive yet nonchalant attitude he often liked to put on. The first time I'd ever witnessed it was when Tio found me sitting alone at a cafe. I still remember sitting there, slack-jawed, as he practically shoved my laptop bag to the side before he sat down and took a sip of my drink like it was his own. Oh. So, that's okay. The satisfied grin from seeing my displeasure said everything. And had he not offered to buy me another drink, I'm almost certain I would have told Tio to get lost and bother someone else. But before I can reminisce any further, I hear the sounds of Tio's footsteps drawing closer, and it pulls me back to the present. I watch as he walks up to us with a confident stride before he purposefully bumps into, oh, Lord, he purposefully bumps into Ren with the sole purpose of sending him tumbling into the metal railing behind him. He's gonna die. He's gonna go missing because you know what? Where is my girl Eleanor? Did y'all think I forgot about her? I didn't forget about her. Eleanor disappeared, y'all. I swear to God. And no one knows where she went. I didn't care about her enough to even figure it out. Tio next. He next. Watch. But luckily, Ren manages to catch his footing at the last second, sending Tio an annoyed scowl of his own. Aw, crap. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how I missed such a brightly colored children's mascot. Alright. Tio's doing a lot. Alright, there's no need for that here. Despite Leon's tone, Tio barely pays the shorter male any mind, seemingly far more interested in Ren instead. Let me guess. You're dressed up as Benny, the buttercup? My 4-year-old cousin would love you. Oi, knock it off, mate. What's your problem? Don't know. What's yours? Guys, please! No fighting. This isn't you. Like, what's happening right now? I could practically feel the tension between the two grow. So I decided to step in. Maybe you should introduce introduce each other before you try glaring each other to death. Tio, this is Ren. He's my, boyfriend. Okay, I'm her boyfriend. Well, that was certainly one way to put it, especially without bringing it up with me beforehand. At his words, I shoot Ren a confused glance, but the determined look on his face had me biting back my words. Okay. Anyway, this is Tio. Wait, how should I introduce him to Ren? Okay. So he's a friend from the city. He's my ex-boyfriend. He's just a fling. I've never seen this man in my life. Could you imagine if that was my ex? But I didn't say that. And I feel like I would have said that in the whole, like, oh, Tio, I met him in the city. I would have said, like, I was in a relationship with him. I've never seen this man in my life. You're a friend from the city. Aw, you consider us friends. That's real cute, doll. Are we not friends? Yeah, I'm confused. You always used to show up and sit next to me whenever I'd visit the cafe near campus. Which was weird because I never told anyone where I was going. Oh, maybe I wanted to say hi before visiting Goldie. It's on my route to his university, you know. So he wanted to spend time with me before visiting Jay. How uncharacteristically thoughtful of him. Or maybe I was bored and I went to see what someone with a lower class income does in her free time. Oh. Why am I catching a stray? What is happening here? I'm so confused. The fuck? Like, what is going on? Never mind, y'all. I scratch what I said earlier. I don't like them. I'm gonna bite my tongue for the sake of YouTube. Like, what the hell? Well, then, never mind. Just kidding, doll. Sides, you're a bit too boring for my taste. I doubt you even be worth hiring a private investigator. Wow, he's just going for it. I don't understand. Okay, enough. Look, why don't we drop this, yeah? You really need to stop trying to pick fights with everyone, mate. Aw, don't get your panties in a twist. I seriously doubt Buttercup's capable of harming a fly, let alone able to throw a decent punch. He finna kill him! He finna kill him! Y'all, he's gonna kill him! What is happening? You could drop the nickname. Nah, but I think Dollface over here should drop you instead. Ooh. Alright. We gotta chill out. Everybody, Leon, take your friend because I'm finna fuck everybody up. This is getting on my nerves real quick. Sides, the nickname is kinda cute. Matches your style pretty well, don't you think? Buttercup. Ooh. I could see Ren's hand clench into a fist as he advances towards Tio. But thankfully, Leon steps in once more. Seriously? Why don't we all cool off, yeah? I think we're getting a bit too heated. Agreed. Thank you, childhood friend. Thank you. Look, we're gonna head down to the beach. I don't miss the way Leon sends Tio a sharp glare. Are you sure you don't want to join us, Angel? I promise to make sure Tio stays on his best behavior. Sorry, Leon, but I've already made plans with Ren. And I seriously doubt they'll be able to get along. You know how Tio can get. Yeah, you've got a point there. Well, alright then. He leans closer to me, almost as if he didn't want the other two eavesdropping. If anything happens, I'll be in the area. Just come find me, okay? I will. Thanks, Leon. I give his arm a soft squeeze and turn my attention back to Ren. But by the way he looks at us, I can only assume that he didn't like how close I was standing to my childhood friend. Yeah. Like I said, a good yandere trope. Though that could have also been because Tio was still around, and honestly, I couldn't blame him. Regardless, I reach for his hand once more and tug him towards the cafe, making a point of ignoring Tio's crass words as we went along. I barely notice how Ren's mood immediately changes when my attention is back on him, and he follows along like a lost puppy. That was heated. That was almost like too heated. We eventually arrive at the Driftwood Cafe, and the smell of fresh pastries and brewed coffee flood my senses as it wafts through the open windows. And just as I thought, the cafe looked as though it had recently opened, though it didn't seem as busy or crowded as I anticipated. Pulling me from my thought, Ren ushers me into one of the empty tables before he goes off to make an order with a pleased look on his face. It was a bit strange how he didn't want to look at the menu first, but I chalked it up to him wanting to surprise me. He's barely gone for 5 minutes before he returns once more, taking a seat in front of me with a huff. Ooh, I know he mad. Oh my god, he finna kill Tio. A comfortable silence washes over us, and I watch as he I told y'all, absent-mindedly. This creator loves that term. Fiddles with the ends of his hair. Was he still concerned about what Tio said about his appearance earlier? Maybe it'd be a good idea to take his mind off of it. Hey, Ren. Almost immediately, he perks up with wide eyes. How'd you manage to keep your hair so fluffy? It always looks so good. Ren seems to flush instantly at my words, and he sheepishly ducks his head lower to hide his reddening cheeks. You like it? I usually just angle a blow dryer below my chin and blast the heat, and it just stays like that afterwards. Oh, so you don't need to use any products or anything? No, not really. Okay. So he's just been blessed with the fluffiness. Okay. Just when I thought he got over his timid personality, it slowly came crawling back. Was this really who he was? No, girl. No. Ren must have taken my silence as a lack of response, seeing as he tries striking up another conversation. So, work's going good for you, huh? Finally got that promotion? Did I tell him that? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. I was honestly surprised when I first got my promotion, considering how I've only moved back here recently. But Eleanor's been really helpful by showing me the ropes and... Wait. How did you know I got promoted? When I tell you, my character Angel ignores every single red flag known to man. She just be yapping, and then she be like, wait a minute. Never mind. And she just keeps talking like, girl. Oh, your coworker told me all about it yesterday after you left. Eleanor, right? She seemed really proud of you. Anyway, what were you saying about her showing you the ropes? I barely noticed how he managed to change the conversation back to me as I recounted all the times Eleanor helped me through my first week of working at the library. It eventually reached the point where I felt like I had been talking for hours, and it wasn't until something caught my eye I finally stop. Oh, okay, so a puppy, goth style, you got something in your hair, sorry, what were you saying? I'd probably look at the puppy. Ren glances out of the window and follows my line of sight where a small Pomeranian sat idly chewing the laces of its owner's shoes. Yeah, that is a pretty dog, but I think you're cuter. Nothing could compare to you. Order 25. Oh, that's us. Wait right here. I'll be right back. If this man comes back with a matcha latte, I'm throwing all the red flags out the window and we finna take it up. Let's see what he bring me. Before I could get a word in, Ren was jumping out of his seat and meandering his way towards the kiosk. It really was a sight to behold, seeing Ren tower over most of the other customers who were waiting in line. Even the cashier himself, or herself, who seemed to be at least 6 feet tall, had to crane her neck upwards just to look at him. So how tall is this man? But before I could blink twice, Ren was already on his way back with a large tray full of delicious food. No drinks. Okay, no drinks. He seats himself back in his original spot with a pleased smile and begins to lay out the dishes in front of me. Oh, this is... okay. Maybe a sugary cookie. So, either a scone, a croissant, a slice of cake, or a sugary cookie. I'm thinking maybe a chocolate croissant. A croissant with chocolate filling sits next to my beverage. So what's my beverage? Because that's really what I care about. And I almost heard my stomach rumble at the sight. How did Ren know that this was my favorite thing to order? There goes another red flag. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? She'd just be yapping and she'd be like, all right, whatever. Granted, it wasn't like I've been to the Driftwood Cafe before, but this was usually what I'd order at any other cafe. It was honestly like he could read my mind. And what was even more mind-boggling was that he didn't even need to look at the menu beforehand. It was like he just knew. Wow. It's almost as if he's stalking me and has been stalking me for a long time. Isn't that a crazy thought? Don't forget your drink. What is it? Ren shoots me another gentle smile of his before placing my drink before me. No way. The drink he placed in front of me, it was... No! Oh wait, I see a steaming latte. Ah! Yes! I could tell by that scent that he ordered me a nice warm latte, matcha preferably. Just like the ones I usually bring on my way to work sometimes. I hope this is okay. Unfortunately, this cafe doesn't have much to offer, judging from the menu I saw online. Ah, so that's how he knew what to order. I even tried asking for napkins earlier, but I don't think they heard me. Maybe I should try again. I almost felt bad for him, but I also felt grateful for ordering me something that I'd normally eat at a cafe. Ren makes sure everything is on the table before putting the tray aside, and it was then when I noticed what he'd ordered himself. On his plate sat a strawberry sweet roll, okay, alongside a cup of coffee that was an alarming shade of black. Oh. So, black coffee and a strawberry sweet roll, okay. He seems to pick up on my inquisitive stare, if the innocent tilt of his head was anything to go by. Do you want my meal instead? We can swap if you want, I don't mind. This was supposed to be a date, right? Deciding to tease him a little, I shoot Ren a sly grin. That's okay, but you could offer me a bite instead. Oh, see, y'all see what I'm talking about? She stresses me out. This man, let me keep going. Ren almost seems to combust at the spot as his cheeks turn red and he almost chokes on his own spit. He looks down at his food before glancing back at me, only to look down once more to scoop up a bite-sized piece of his food. I watch his friend's cheeks turn a deep shade of red while he brings his fork closer to me, and not wanting to be seen as a coward, I lean in to take a bite. Yeah, I'm the initiator at this point. I'm the one flirting. So at this point, whatever comes my way is rightfully deserved because I'm playing games. Literally. His eyes widen almost immediately as he seems hyper-focused on the way my mouth wraps around the fork before I lick my lips and let out a pleased hum. It's yummy. Try some. The pink long-haired man seems to have an awkwardly long staring contest with his own fork before he scoops up yet another small piece and takes a bite. Ren's cheeks are still scarlet red, and he seems almost fidgety with how his legs keep bouncing under the table. So I decide to take pity on him and not tease him for it. With a knowing smile, I start digging into my own meal with a pleased hum. My chocolate croissant and my matcha latte. Eventually, we ended up finishing our meals and decided to do a bit of window shopping to pass the time. I had nothing else to do today, and Ren seemed insistent on spending the rest of his time with me, so I agreed. So I agreed. So I did this. So I did that, because I don't care about my life. We passed by a few clothing stores, ice cream stands, surfboard rentals, and many other interesting buildings, though nothing really caught my interest. But just as I thought I'd lost all hope, one store in particular catches my eye. Ooh, why look like that? In one of the display windows, I spot this cute little rabbit plushie in the style of Haruko's likeness. Oh yes, AOG. Okay. I mean, it even came with his limited edition sorcerer outfit and everything. Listen, plushies, blind boxes, I gotta have them, okay? I couldn't believe they were selling these things here, of all places, and at such a cheap price, too. Oh, hey! Ren seems to take notice of what I was not so subtly gawking at, but before we could enter the store, the cashier walks in front of the display stand and blocks our view. She drops a box of miscellaneous items at her feet and begins stocking the shelf next to the plushies before she finally notices us standing by the window. I don't miss the way Ren's eyes widen, or her eyes. Oh! She gawking at my man. Okay. Obviously taking an immediate liking to him, and almost shamelessly pushes a strand of hair behind her ears before giving him a small wave. Get out of here. Sneaking a glance at the taller man beside me, I noticed how Ren wasn't even paying any attention to her, instead keeping himself busy by scratching at his jaw and kicking the stray cobblestone rocks by his feet. But the cashier seemed adamant about getting Ren's attention, considering how she felt the need to abandon her spot by the shelves and make her way towards us. Oh, she want, okay. Bring it, round one. Hi there. Welcome to the Seaside Trinkets. My name is Olivia. Can I help you with anything? Oh, no. We were just looking around, but thanks for... Oh! We recently got... Wow, some new Beach Bear merchandise if you're interested in checking them out. Was she seriously ignoring me? Everybody playing with my top today. I don't like that. Everybody playing with me today. Oh, you kind of look like somebody I know. Have we met before? Maybe we went to the same school? Ooh. Me? I don't think so. Really, I definitely would have remembered a face like yours. Oh. Actually, now that I've got a good look at you, I watch as she shamelessly takes in Ren's appearance before crossing her arms over her chest and leaning back. You also remind me of one of those characters from a cartoon that's been gaining a ton of traction here. Apparently, one of the locations from the show is based on Corlin Bay's main beach. Are you talking about Attack on Giant? Is that the name of it? Then yeah. I don't really know much about those cartoons, but our company recently started selling some stuff for it to entice the tourists. Do you want to come inside and take a look? She playing with me. Actually, do you want my number as well? Here. You had this prepared? Of course. You always need to be ready in case any cuties walk into the store. Oh, she's going. She's overly going. And I'm overly going to kick her ass at this point. Like, let's go. I Well, I wouldn't want to sound like a hypocrite or anything. Ren looks at me with a shy, knowing look before he hesitantly reaches out to take the piece of paper. What did he mean by that? Before I even get the chance to ask, Ren already answers my silent question with red cheeks and a crooked smile. This is embarrassing, but I also had my number prepared for when we met at the library yesterday. Here. He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a folded pink sticky note of his own before discreetly handing it to me alongside Olivia's number as well. Huh? Why was he giving me her number as well? Oh, because for the cuties that walk into the store, that is hilarious. That was a good play. My confusion must have been blatantly obvious since Ren was quick to explain his intentions. With a mischievous grin, he leans closer to whisper into my ear. Maybe we could prank call her later? That'll teach her not to give her number out to strangers. But isn't that what you just did to me, Ren? I match his teasing smile with my own as I run my thumb over the pink sticky note in my hand. Touché, but I've yet to receive any prank calls from you, though. Don't jinx it. Just as Ren lets out a puff of laughter at my joke, Olivia cuts him off. Oh my god. Hello? I'm still here. Oh, right, sorry. Anyway, now that you've got my number and I've got your attention again, I think it's only fair I show you around the store. I don't do this for just anyone, you know? Ren doesn't seem to answer her initial question, nor does he seem to outright respond to her, and instead cast an inquisitive glance in my direction. It was like he was asking me for my opinion, and I can only assume it was because he knew about my interest in anime. It was thoughtful of him to do that, but I kind of wanted him to tell that rude worker off instead. Wait, did I really want him to do that? What was wrong with me? Actually, she's right. What was wrong with me? Oh, Angel, I'm over here acting like you. I'm sure that the cashier just took an interest in him and there was nothing wrong with that. It's not like we were a couple anyway, but we were supposed to be on a date right now and Ren did declare himself as my boyfriend earlier. But I just assumed that he had said that in order to get Tio off my back. Does that mean, was he feeling the same way as me? Was jealousy on his mind when we talked with Leon and Tio earlier? I wasn't sure how I felt about this new discovery. Angel? Huh? Do you want to go look at the items? We've still got a bit of time to kill. Here, why don't I show you the most recent stock? We haven't shown this to the general public yet, but I'm sure you'll love it. Ugh. Without warning, Olivia, what was that her name, reaches out to Ren's arm and practically drags him inside the store. Like, what? He lets out a surprised sound before leaning back and trying to grab hold of my own arm as well, but I was just out of his reach. There was nothing else I could do but watch Ren helplessly get pulled into the store. It's back here in the stock rooms. What the hell is a stockworm? That just pissed me off. Anyway, usually we don't allow customers downstairs, but you're a real hottie, so I'll let you take a sneak peek. Oh, she's pissing me off bad. No, actually, I'm good. Don't worry, we won't get caught. I'm sure your girlfriend won't mind if I borrow you for a bit. Oh no, get this bitch out of here. She's bugging. She's bugging. See, it's one thing if she just didn't acknowledge me at all, but then she sat there, smiled at me, looked at me, talking about something. I'm sure your girlfriend won't mind. Oh, all right. I'll even throw in some of those cartoon stickers for you. Surely that'll make it worth your time. The wink she sent him felt a little excessive, and I honestly wish Ren would turn around so I could gauge his reaction. But instead, he leans in close to her face and whispers in a hushed tone that I could barely hear from my spot outside the store. If she wasn't stirring right now, I would have down the stairs without a thought. And honestly, there nothing more I'd rather do. Huh? What? What did he say? What? From their current position, it looked as though they were having a really intimate conversation, and I felt the sudden urge to look away. Why was I getting so bothered over this? Yeah, you're right. Why was I getting so bothered over this? I know we aren't together, but Ren shouldn't be off flirting with other people while on a date with someone else. Like, he's with me. I would never want to be with someone who wasn't considerate of my feelings, and up until now, I honestly thought Ren would have had a chance. I guess I was wrong. But still, there was this nagging voice in the back of my head that kept telling me to not give up on him so easily. Ren was the one who confidently stood his ground when Tio got a bit suggestive, so maybe I should do the same? Would he even mind? Before I can stop myself, my feet start to move on autopilot as I march towards the two of them and reach for Ren's sleeve. I give it a hesitant tug, and I swear I could almost feel the relief wash over his body because of it. Ren's entire demeanor seems to change in that moment, and he turns to me with a relieved smile on his soft features. I don't really have an interest in this store. Can we go somewhere else? Yeah, girl. Ooh. Yeah, of course. Wait, hold on. Ren carelessly shoves Olivia's outstretched hand aside and gently places an arm over my shoulder instead. And just like that, he's already guiding me out of the store and back into the busy street. I can hear Olivia sputter out confused words as she watches the two of us leave, and I suddenly felt guilty for causing a rift between them. No, get her out of here. For real. Overly going. Rude. No matter how many times I tried to brush it aside, I still couldn't get my mind off of what just occurred earlier. What if? What if Ren was interested in her? Girl, what about you? Granted, he probably shouldn't have blatantly flirted with her while on a date with me, but he wasn't exactly the most confident guy. Would he still be able to talk to her again if things didn't work out between us? Oh, so I got too many feelings going on right now. Like, way too many. No, I shouldn't be thinking that. Peering up to gauge his expression, I noticed how he didn't really look all that upset about leaving her. If anything, he seemed rather content to be walking down the street with his fingers intertwined with mine once more. I can feel him give my hand a protective squeeze as he looks down at me with his soft blue eyes. I had to look at his eyes for a second. I would say blue. Yep. And all of my worries somehow melt away. Maybe I did make the right choice after all. It might have been selfish, but it was worth having Ren look at me with such a gentle expression. Eventually, the sun starts to set behind the ocean as Ren and I continue to walk along the beach. Along the beach walk. Walk along the beach walk. Most of the conversation was geared towards me and my interest again, but every time I tried to learn more about Ren, he only seemed to divert the conversation back to me once more. But the more I focused on his odd behavior, the more I began to pick up on his social habits as well. I learned that Ren would subtly pick at the sleeves of his cardigan whenever he got nervous, or how he scratched his jaw whenever the conversation strayed down a path he didn't feel comfortable with. He's also in the same clothes as yesterday. His little quirks told me more about himself than the dead-end conversations that only led back to me, and I was content with knowing more about him than I did yesterday. Ren no longer felt like a stranger I had met at the library, but rather someone I could consider a friend. Except friends aren't supposed to get jealous whenever they see them flirt with someone else. Jeez, what was wrong with me? It had barely been 2 days. It literally hasn't been 2 days. Guys, we're in day 2, okay? And I was already contemplating whether or not I truly saw Ren in a romantic light. Was I going too fast? All of these thoughts were starting to get a bit overwhelming and... Angel, hello? Huh? You're spacing out on me again. There's that look again. He keeps peering down at me with so much adoration in his eyes, and if I didn't know any better, I would think that he was already halfway in love with me. Duh, girl. But that was a very conceited thought and probably... it probably wasn't even true. Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking about things. Are you gonna share those things with the rest of the class? He sends me a playful smile and a gentle nudge into my side, and I couldn't help but laugh. When did we become so comfortable with each other, and when did he lose his stutter? You're right. I'm the one stuttering now. It's not him. It's nothing really. Maybe a bit embarrassing, but, well, I was wondering, how do you feel about... My sentence gets cut short when a drop of rain lands on my cheek. Instinctively, I look up and find myself wondering how I didn't notice those dark clouds in the sky sooner. Oh, that sucks. All of a sudden, more droplets fall down until it's all but pouring rain and forcing everyone in the area to find cover. Over here. Oh, that scared me. Ren doesn't seem to pay much attention when he grabs me by the wrist and pulls me underneath one of the awnings of a nearby building. He shields me from the rain with his body, and I couldn't help but feel tiny, small, with the way his arms cage me in as he rests them against the wall. Ooh. Okay. Is he hot? Like, I just want to know, like, mind you, we're on a beach. We're clearly at a beach town, and he's in a cardigan and a sweater. He gotta be hot, right? Then again, everybody's wearing, like, long sleeves. We look at each other in silence for a brief moment before erupting in laughter. Perhaps it was because of the adrenaline from all the panic running, or the fact that Ren's hair was starting to lose its fluffiness, but I couldn't hold back from letting out a fit of giggles. This only seems to spur Ren on as well, until we're both wheezing out of our lungs, gulping down air. I can't remember the last time I ran that fast. Me too. Ooh. Okay. The looming sound of thunder echoes from afar and drowns out our laughter until we're both silent once more. Once we both calm down, Ren moves me further away from the rain before casting a glance behind him. Wait here, I'll buy us an umbrella so we can get out of this rain. But you'll get soaked. 'Tis a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I roll my eyes at his corny joke and send him off with an amused smile. And here I am, just eating it up. What a good stalker, just eating it up. He doesn't look back before he makes a mad dash out into the rain and down the street towards the closest convenience store. Though the rain only seems to get heavier the moment he leaves, and I find myself pressing even further against the wall behind me to avoid the recoil of rain bouncing off the pavement. There wasn't much for me to do while I waited for Ren to return, aside from watching people scramble around for shelter. And just like that, the carefree sounds of laughter echoing from down the street capture my attention. Oh, fuck. As I watched Leon, Tio, and Jay all run to cover like their life depended on it. Well, it seems as though their beach outing got cut short as well. Glancing back once more, I barely make out the figure of Leon using his bag as a makeshift umbrella as he ducks under one of the awnings of an ice cream stand. All while Tio and Jay trail behind at a leisurely pace, kicking and splashing water at each other in the rain. I had to look away the moment Tio started to remove his shirt, and I had an inkling that it was so that he could show off. Probably. I mean, look at the guy. He looked good. I'm not gonna lie. He looked good, but he's like an asshole. And knowing Jay, he'll follow along without a care in the world because that's what he does, always does when it comes to his friends. A part of me feels like calling out to the group to see if I can wait out the storm alongside them, but they all seem to be enjoying themselves and I didn't want to get in between that. Plus, I did promise Ren that I'd wait for him here. Even if he was taking his sweet time. Was he ever going to return? There was still no sign of him or his comfy looking cardigan, and I was beginning to wonder if he really did ditch me. After all, it must have been more than 15 minutes by now. What if he got caught up with something, or what if he went back to see that cashier lady again? Oh, that cashier lady, Her store did happen to be on the same street, but after spending the afternoon with Ren and getting to know him, I concluded that he wasn't the type of person to do such a thing. Plus, that'd be a really low blow considering he was the one who offered to take me out on a date today. Exactly, sis, come on. Don't do our little yandere like that. Don't do him like that. Although, if I was being honest with myself, it did seem as though they had chemistry. Especially with how she looked at him and touched his arm as though it was the most natural thing in the world. She apparently knew him as well, or at least he looked recognizable enough. Why did that thought make my blood boil? Thankfully, the rain was there to cool me off, as well as soak the ends of my outfit and make everything feel damp and uncomfortable. Was Ren really coming back? It shouldn't take this long to buy an umbrella. Okay. I feel like if I walked home, he would be really offended because he easily could have got caught up. I'm not gonna walk home without him. I'm gonna wait because if I walk home, that man gonna follow me home. And y'all know he will. I'm gonna wait for him. Maybe something did come up. I'm sure he'll be back. And see? Y'all, if I were to walk home, he would have saw me walk off and he would have been like, what are you doing? And as if on cue, I spot a familiar patch of pink hair from within the misty rain, frantically sprinting with an umbrella in one hand and a bag in the other. Angel? Angel? Okay. He almost slams into me before stopping just in time, and I can tell by the way he was wheezing that he ran all the way back without stopping. And that's why I didn't leave my man. Sorry, I thought I almost lost you for a second. It's so hard to see in this weather. Jeez, Ren, what took you so long? I almost wanted to cuss him out for taking well over 20 minutes just to buy a single umbrella, but the genuinely apologetic look on his features made me hold my tongue. Sorry, do you remember your friends from earlier? I ran into them on the way there, which took forever for me to shake them off. Huh? I saw them. So how did you see them? And then the convenience store ended up closing early due to the sudden weather change. So then I had to go to that awful souvenir shop with that obnoxious and clingy cashier again. And she asked me if he was talking a mile a minute and I was worried he'd end up biting his tongue. Gently, I raised my hand to signal him to calm down, and his intense monologue soon comes to a halt. I'm really sorry about making you wait so long, but ta-da! I did manage to get an umbrella, along some other things as well. He gives it a small twirl in his hand, sending droplets of water all over the place. Oh god. She didn't think that was weird because we saw her friends and we didn't see Ren with them, so he lied. Okay, whatever. We can start heading back home now if you want, unless you want to go somewhere specific. Oh, forget it, I'm going home alone. Ooh, why am I so angry? Do we go to my apartment or do we go to his apartment? I don't want to go to his apartment. maybe let I don't know. I don't know. Let's go to his. Why not? Why not? My apartment? Sure. It's not that far anyway. We could wait out the storm there if you'd like. I even have a heater and a dryer we could use. Okay, bet. The image of me sitting in front of a warm, cozy heater was too hard to resist, so I end up eagerly stepping under Ren's umbrella while he leads the way. To Ren's apartment! Despite the heavy downpour of rain, we managed to make it to Ren's apartment complex in one piece. I guess he really wasn't lying when he said his apartment wasn't far from mine. But judging from the pristine interior and fully functioning elevators, his building seemed to be in far better shape compared to my apartment. The elevator ride could have been a little less awkward though, if it weren't for the slow ascend and tacky music. Or for the fact that Ren deemed it appropriate to shake his hair like a wet dog and get water droplets everywhere. Okay. Once the elevator doors slid open, I was immediately met with a grandiose corridor and large spacious doors, and I found myself wondering how much it costs to live in a place like this. Okay, girl, you got that promotion, so why not? Or maybe we can move in. Don't look too hard at how messy my place is, okay? I wasn't expecting to have someone over today, so I didn't bother cleaning up. Didn't you just... I said that, right? I said that on day one. Yeah, I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu. Thankfully, I don't have any white-haired neighbors who like to take their plants on walks. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a bit strange, but no one lives on the floor aside from me. I'm not really sure why, but I'm not gonna complain. I can make as much noise as I want, no one would notice. Ren shoots me a mischievous grin, and I find myself wondering what he meant by that. So, for the friends that are wondering, there is a 14 Nights With You downloadable content, okay? So, I do not have that downloadable content, but you can download that, that's all I'm gonna say. Like loud music and stuff, movies, yeah, something like that. He unlocks the door with some electronic card attached to his keychain, and the moment the door swings open, I let out an audible gasp. Ooh, it's nice here! Ooh! This is nice. Ren doesn't seem fazed in the slightest as he flicks on the lights and walks into his own home, but I could only stand at the entrance to his foyer in shock. This is much nicer than mine. Yes, foyer. He had a whole dang foyer in his apartment. Was this even an apartment? Surely a penthouse would have made more sense. Holy crap, Ren. Is there something wrong? What is it? I know the decor is kind of tacky, but it came with the apartment. Y'all. What if he don't actually live here? No, there's no way. I'm losing my voice. There's no way, right, he would be able to squat, like, in the apartment and no one know. Because notice he's like, oh, I can make as much noise. No one lives on this floor. Okay. And I haven't found the time to do anything about it yet. I'm sorry, but are you the long-lost heir of a millionaire or something? This place is huge. And hello, is that marble? No, I get paid a lot for my job. Enough to afford rent, at least. You know, I don't think I've asked you this yet, but what exactly is your job? My job is, well, I guess you could say I'm a programmer. I don't know. I just take on a few jobs every so often, nothing super fancy or anything. Nothing super fancy, Ren. You have marble flooring. Leaving the newly discovered programmer at the entrance, I curiously ventured further into his apartment. Marble is a pain in the rear end to clean, too. Oh, Angel, do you want some slippers? The floor can get cold and your shoes are probably soaked, right? Turning around, I noticed Ren opening a small closet and pulling out a pair of dark house slippers. He looks at me with a curious expression, but makes no effort to hand them over. Only if you want them. I'll take them, but only because they look like they're douchey? Like Gucci? Gucci? Ren lets out a puff of laughter through his nose at my joke, but doesn't seem to deny it. Were these slippers really from a luxury brand? Is this really his apartment? Okay. As I put them on, I notice how they're an exact fit, and it makes me wonder if I just have average sized feet or if Ren had bought a bunch of expensive house slippers in varying sizes. But as funny as that imagery was, how did he accurately guess my shoe size without seeing my feet? Here, why don't I show you the bathroom? I'll find you something to wear in the meantime while your clothes are in the dryer. Or would you prefer a towel instead? I guess that'd make more sense. Ooh. Sorry, I don't usually invite people over. Seeing his timid side resurface once more gave me the sudden urge to tease him. Just a towel? Is it Egyptian cotton? Don't you have any friends? Am I your first house guest? I'm gonna say just a towel? Nothing else? Yeah, to keep you warm instead of taking a shower. Unless you'd prefer a blanket, because I'm pretty sure I have an electric... Oh. It was as if all the gears inside of his head were finally clicking together. No, I didn't mean... I mean a towel that you could wear over your clothes, not just you in a towel unless you want to, but that's... Why would you? I'm just gonna shut up now. Sorry. That wasn't what I meant at all, but his reaction was priceless nonetheless. Anyway, I'll show you to the bathroom. You can use whatever you want in there and nothing is off limits. First, it was offering me to spend the night at my place. Then it was asserting himself as my boyfriend in front of my friends. He really doesn't care about personal boundaries, huh? I was beginning to think that Ren didn't really seem to mind when it came to me invading his personal bubble as well. Though he still seemed pretty standoffish around Tio and Leon, and it took him a while to warm up to Eleanor back at the library. He even seemed indifferent when he first met Violet, but I figured it was only because he was shy. Speaking of being shy, I still noticed how Ren didn't seem to be switching up on his personality as much anymore, and I was beginning to think that he was showing me his real side. Up until now, everything felt real and genuine, and I found that we could bounce back witty retorts between each other more easily. Okay, we feeling each other. I mean, girl, you was about to fight Olivia, I was about to call the girl Alice, Olivia in the store. Though every now and again, he might slip up and stutter, but I just assumed it was because of my teasing made him flustered. So maybe the timid side of him was genuine after all. But I'll leave some clothes for you outside and put the plushie I bought for you in your room. In your room? Huh? The he bought me the plushie. Oh yeah, thanks. My room. Great, I was zoning out again and completely missed half of what he was saying. Something about clothes and a plushie he bought. Was he talking about the Haruko plushie I was eyeing up earlier? I mean, he was carrying a gift bag from that souvenir shop earlier. Did he really buy me that toy? Ren, however, doesn't seem to pick up on my confusion though, and invitingly opens the bathroom door for me with a soft smile. And so, without trying to make things awkward, I quickly slip, because I never try to make things awkward, I just be going for it, y'all. I quickly slip inside and lean against the door for support, which was fortunate for me because one sweep of the bathroom had me stumbling back in surprise. Everything is gorgeous in here. Whoa. Even his restroom looked expensive. I was afraid of touching anything, fearing I'd accidentally break it and end up paying for it. Glancing around again, I noticed how his countertop seems to be void of any dental care, hairbrushes, and skin products, though a few bottles of concealer and an open box of hair dye sit in the corner near the sink. Well, I guess that answers my burning question of whether or not he naturally had pink hair. But now it made me wonder, if Ren does dye his hair, then what was his natural hair color? She not putting two and two together like I need her to. She not putting two and two together like I need her to. There were still so many things I didn't know about that soft-looking guy, and I was beginning to question whether coming here was a good idea or not. But we didn't care when we invited him to our place. Anyway, with a sigh, I decided not to waste any more time thinking about irrelevant things. Oh my God, she pisses me off. And instead, turned my attention back to the shower like oh my God. Quickly stripping out of my clothes, I jump into the unnecessarily large glass booth and turn the water on. Glancing at Ren's shelf, missing hair and body products, I couldn't help but notice that one brand in particular happened to be the exact same as mine. Did we use the same body wash? He didn't really smell like me, but maybe that was because I wasn't paying much attention. I mean, who randomly smells people out of the blue anyway? If 2 + 2 is 4, Angel. If 2 + 2 is 4, Angel. Shaking my head at such a silly notion, I began to scrub away the lingering smell of rain from my body and quickly finished washing up. Bundled up in a warm towel, I crack open the large door and poke my head out into the hallway. True to his word, Ren left a small pile of clothing outside the bathroom, neatly stacked and propped against the side of the wall. Bringing the contents back inside, I noticed that one piece of clothing in particular was a rather comfy looking hoodie. But the design on the front, however, was rather morbid looking and didn't really suit Ren's vibes. Maybe from a horror film or something? Shrugging my shoulders, I put the hoodie on and instantly get enveloped, whatever, by the sheer amount of fabric. I mean, it made sense considering Ren's large, lanky frame, but this was just absurd. I had to stifle a laugh among the amusing sight of the fogged up mirror, but I had to admit that the soft fabric felt nice and warm against my skin. Even the scent that came from it felt oddly comforting somehow. Turning back to the remaining clothes in the pile, I gently pick up the next item and try to put it on. The gray sweatpants didn't seem to fit the length of my legs despite the number of times I tried to tug at the fabric, but luckily Ren was thoughtful enough to give me other alternatives. The dark pair of shoes, or shorts, seemed like the better option, especially since it came with a drawstring and deep pockets. We love a good pocket. Was it? Do y'all remember in day one when Violet says someone broke into my apartment and had a slasher hoodie? I think that's what she said. Did I read the hoodie though? Y'all see what I'm talking about? I'm like, is this from a horror flick? This is what I'm talking about. Once I was fully dressed, I step out of the bathroom and aimlessly walk around until I hear the faint sounds of a TV playing. Feeling curious, I follow the source of the sound down the hallway. News! A sudden storm hits the bay as gale force winds and knock over street signs and even awnings. Kirk just believes that this sudden change in the weather will die down soon, and to stay safe indoor. I continue to follow the noise until it suddenly cuts out and changes into a glaring monotone sound, indicating that the television must have lost all signal. and soon enough, I find myself in Ren's spacious lounge room. This a little penthouse suite. I could stay here. Aside from the TV, the rest of the lights were off. Oh, but I could still make out most of the dark shapes within the room with ease. The power went out. It was just as ostentatious as the rest of the house, though I couldn't help but feel like it lacked any form of life. It just didn't seem like someone actually lived here. That's what I'm saying. It's too clean. The furniture was gaudy yet tasteless. There was hardly any personal decoration or colors, and there was nothing that really screamed Ren to me. There were no personal touches, photos, items, hobbies, nothing. Just tacky furniture and the bland smell of something sterile. If I were being honest, it gave off the same vibe as a dentist clinic or hospital. I mean, he did mention recently moving in, right? Maybe that's why. I'm sick of her. Ooh, we get an outfit change. Who moved in? Surprised by the sudden voice, I spin. I want him to give me a different pose. I want Ren to give me something new, something exciting, okay? Surprised by the sudden voice, I spin on my heel, only to find Ren coming out of one of the hallways with a new set of comfy clothing. He got a little tattoo right here. He seemed much more at ease like this, especially with the gentle expression on his face. I watch as he takes a respectful glance at my attire before sheepishly averting. The creator, loves certain phrases and words. I feel like I'm saying like the same thing. Averting his attention to the ends of his sleeve. Sorry, that's the only pair of clothing I could find that might fit you. It looks really good on you though. Oh, thanks. You can even keep them if you want. That thunder keeps getting me, y'all. The sound of thunder rumbling in the distance cuts off Ren's mumbling, and I involuntarily step closer to him. Without missing a beat, he reaches out and rests a protective hand on my shoulder to steady me. Ren idly glances out the window before turning his undivided attention back to me once more, only this time with a determined look. It's really pouring, huh? I could only nod my head at his words, suddenly feeling sheepish. Y'all see? All of a sudden. I really should have checked the weather forecast before I went out today. But to be fair, it didn't look as though it started spontaneously raining when I left my apartment this morning. And that's the thing about beach towns, y'all. And I guess I was enjoying my time with Ren to the point where I didn't even realize the weather was turning sour. Angel? Sorry, what did you say? I just asked if you wanted to stay the night here. No. You know, seeing how hard it's raining out there and your clothes haven't finished drying yet. It'd be no trouble, and I could return the favor considering how you let me stay at your apartment yesterday. Staying at his place for the night? Well, this certainly isn't how I expected to end my day. But would it really be that bad? It definitely beats waiting out the storm and walking home with a bunch of puddles everywhere. Oh. Hey, so I can either spend the night or I can either spend the night. I'm not leaving. I don't have an option to leave. It's okay, because no problem. I was going to spend the night anyway. That's fine. Okay. I didn't have a choice. I guess I could stay if that's really okay with you. Yeah, of course. It's totally fine. Wow, he was really an energetic, eccentric man, wasn't he? Let me know if you need any more pillows or blankets. Or if the room gets too cold. I haven't worked out how to use the fancy heater system yet, but I can definitely try. Also, you already know where the bathroom is, but if you... Okay, I think I got it, Ren. I shoot him a reassuring smile as I turn to face him at the door. I should have gotten used to his attentive and observant behavior by now, but it still felt like a foreign side of him that I haven't fully uncovered. Still, at least he wasn't stuttering as much anymore. I know. Sorry. I just want you to be as comfortable as possible, so just treat this house like it's your own. Alright, gotcha. He looks like he doesn't want to leave and instead lingers in the front of the door a little while longer. Are you sure there isn't anything else you need? Anything at all? Ooh. Okay, so I could get a goodnight kiss. I can actually sleep in his bed. I could say, what's that locked door? No, I'm good, thank you. Why sleep alone? Or play it safe. Do like a little goodnight kiss or something. What y'all thinking? So I don't even give a, I don't give a fuck about that locked door. I'm not even gonna hold you because I'm here at this point. I don't care. And I'm not gonna say no, I'm good. That's lame. Good night kiss or sleep in bed. I'm going with ooh. I'm like really, I don't know. Because if I go in the bed, I could get a good night kiss as well. If I just get a good night kiss, I have to sleep out here. Hey. We here. Why not? You want to in my room? Did I just say that? I can't keep letting these intrusive thoughts win. I don't mind, but what's wrong with the guest bedroom? He peers behind my head to glance around the room behind me before sheepishly meeting my gaze once more. Nothing's wrong. I just wanted to tease you a little bit, that's all. Sorry, I don't really know why I said that. Oh, I see. So I don't get to sleep in the bed? Fine, don't worry about it then. And to be honest, I kind of enjoy it when you tease me. Well, oh my god. I should just ask for the good night kiss. Well, if everything's okay, I guess I'll let you get some sleep. Yeah, okay. Well, wait. Alright then. Great, I successfully made the mood completely mortifying again. I'm pissed off with Angel. Good night, Angel. Sweet dreams. Good night. I watch in silence as Ren turns on his heel and makes his way towards his own room down the hall. I'm so mad right now. Shaking my head at his odd behavior, I close the door behind me and slowly make my way towards the bed. I notice that the Haruko plushie Ren had bought earlier was sitting atop the sheets, and I gently bring it closer to my chest to give it a soft squeeze. So, he really did buy this for me after all. The faintest hit of cherry and mint emits from the toy, and it makes my mind drift to the thoughts of that strange pink-haired man once more, whose bed I didn't get to sleep in because I was trying to be cute and I was trying to flirt and it didn't work. He was still as odd as usual, but some parts of him were starting to feel rather endearing. I noticed how he was no longer stuttering as much or acting as shy, and it made me wonder if we were getting closer. Now that I really thought about it, how did I feel about Ren? Oh. We crushing. What's the difference? I'm crushing. I think I like him. I think he's alright. I'm totally crushing. I'm crushing. Okay, so maybe I did find him a little, or rather endearing and attractive. Ren was very considerate and attentive towards me during our date, and I could see myself wanting to go on another date in the near future. And I just asked to sleep in his bed, and he told me no, so there we go. He certainly had boyfriend potential, but I still needed to work up the nerve to make it lead toward that direction. He seemed far too hesitant to do it himself, but it would have been nice to see him put more effort into it as well. Oh well, just knowing Ren wanted to spend the entire day with me is enough. Rolling onto my side, I hug the plushie closer so I can be surrounded by his comforting scent and slowly drift off to sleep. And that, my friends, is the end of day 2. I do want to save I do want to save. Oh, that was day 2. All right, day 2, things started to get a little more heated up, a little more spicy. I definitely enjoyed day 2 a little more than day 1, but again, that's just because day 1 was setting the stage and we were getting to know the characters. We still don't know where Eleanor is. Ren is going to kill all of my friends. Why do I have a bunch of guy friends? Is Violet worried about me? Because I did not come home. He slept over at my house, he being Ren, and I slept over his place. I made a joke about sleeping in his own bed and got declined, and now I don't know how to feel. So I know that starting day 3, I'm going to wake up in his apartment, and we're going to see where that day takes us. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, the storyline, you want to see some more, go ahead, hit that like button down below, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you. But that was day 2 of 14 days with you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.